It's time to meet the starting lineups, and we're going to kick things off with the United States of America. All right, at number 5, we have Harry Turner. At number 6, Victor Loyola. Number 8, Jacob Willis. And number 9, Travell Jordan. Number 15, Joshua Aruya. And number 17, Rick Scott. November 17th, starting with Vanessa. And we also have Larson. Let's see how the boys go. Steph Larson on the forward. And head coach John Hawks, the fourth. Our team, Puerto Rico. Number 2, Dylan Velasquez. Number 11, Daniel Timothy Henry. Number 19, Victor Alfonso Torres. Number 25, Evelyn David Salva. Number 27, Gabriel Colón. And 44, Captain Jaguar Figueroa. And Libero, Randy Delgado. And your coach, Jesus Sanchez Gerard.
Welcome back, everybody. USA versus Puerto Rico. Here we go. Nice floater to start the match. Middle dig. Here we go. Sorry, middle run to a center dig. Oh, good use in Puerto Rico. Here we go. Calling on the outside. Off hands. Going Puerto Rico. Starting off hot. Welcome, everybody, to the 2025 NORCECA Men's Volleyball U21 Can-Am Cup from the Seven Chiefs Sportsplex and Gym Starlight Center in Alberta. The Seven Chiefs Sportsplex and Chief Gym Starlight Center is named in honor of the first 7 Chiefs who led the Tsutsina Nation following the signing of Treaty 7. We're getting underway here. Puerto Rico versus USA. Starting off with some out-of-system stuff here. Nice dig for Puerto Rico. Here we go. Big block from the U.S. Good cover. Scrambling back. Here we go. Gonna go over. Free ball for the U.S. Let's see what they do here. Oh, oh my goodness gracious me. It's kind of the pipe shoulder ball, a little bit flaring into that A-ball zone. Really like to see that from the U.S. coming out of the backcourt pretty hot right away here. Also, I just want to let everybody know, first and foremost, thank you for tuning into this stream. Thank you to CBC for also putting the stream up so everybody that isn't physically here, just outside of Calgary, Alberta, can watch and just cheer on their respective teams. If I say anybody's name wrong, I do apologize. Even though this is not my first rodeo, sometimes I just can't read. But yeah, I hope everyone has been enjoying their day. I'm really excited to get this match going. Puerto Rico up right now, 2-1, early in the first set. Oh, almost the snibbler. So close from Velasquez. Number 15, Joshua Aruya, middle blocker, coming in to serve. Let's see if we get a middle dig from him. Oh, good block press over here. Good. Recycle from Puerto Rico. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, so close to a middle dig. Oh, my goodness. But Salva puts it down. I have Salvatore's listed as a middle blocker, but he's hitting from the pin here. So I wonder if somebody borrowed his jersey or if he truly is an outside and a middle who can do everything. Whatever it is, I like it. Oh, a little bit of the sploat there. Oh, some miscommunication here. Lots of bodies flying everywhere. Trying to be an aggressive tip. Here we go. Left side off the block. Good pickup from the U.S. Out of bounds. Outside of the antenna. Point Puerto Rico. Yeah, I expect this to be a physical match. I am flying solo today for color and for play-by-play, but I'm acting like I'm talking to somebody else, which is you, the viewers. Number 25 from Puerto Rico. Salva back to serve. Oh, just out. Yep. A nice floater, though. So a float is kind of that spin float. You toss it up like a spin serve, and then you contact it with a really stiff, flat hand. That's how you normally want to do a float serve anyway, but it's this float, the spin float, kind of that hybrid. Here we go. Same thing right there from the U.S. Great receive. A little bit out of system, but still a very good playable ball. Here we go. Let's see how the U.S. responds. Running the left pin here. Oh, a little bit of switch up there. Nice placement of the tip. Falls great in front of Velasquez. U.S. has yet to lose a match in this tournament. So we'll see what they got. It is getting pretty deep in the tournament. Everyone's legs are probably feeling it. Oh, nice middle route from Puerto Rico. That came from number 27, Colin, middle blocker. Back to serve. Just a little bit short. But I do like the use of a float serve. Like the spin serve in the men's game is it's very popular. But I find that if you just get in the right spot, as you do with most top spin serves, it's just a big down ball. Obviously, these men are hitting the ball at a very different rate, but the floater, it's just a little bit more difficult to pass technically. And, you know, when I say that it's just like a down ball, yet here we go with the overpass, kind of flush down kill. So clearly, it's not as easy to pass as I say it is. But you also just got to find your rhythm, you know. We're barely 12 points in, so everyone's just kind of settling down, figuring it out. Number 17, Riggs guy, back to serve. Also, a little bit long there, but I was watching just them get ready, as I do, as I sit up here, and Riggs got absolutely bamboozled by both of his teammates. He had two different volleyballs thrown at him at two different times so he could warm up, and he got them sniped from two different teammates. He just kind of blocked that path and grabbed it for him. I felt kind of bad for him, but he's clearly out here playing and doesn't really care about it. But oh, nice receive here. Here we go. High two. Oh, another power tip here, trying to make it go. Yeah. Great swing from Vasquez. Really like the way that he opened up there to try and find that deep corner. High, hard, and deep is always an area that will score. It doesn't matter in what position or what pin you're coming from. That back kind of meter of the corner, especially like right on that sideline, like there's pretty much a no man's land. So always good to go there. Good receive here from the U.S. Going to run the C ball out of bounds. Turner just trying a little bit too much to get that into that corner. I also think, though, he wasn't expecting it to come as far in front of him as it did. That's all right. From that area that he's running, it's traditionally a C or a D ball in the backcourt. Looks like he was running a C ball, but I think it flared a little bit into that inside zone. Nice receiver from U.S. High two here, going back to the C ball option. Just putting it in, taking the setter out of system, forcing Puerto Rico to use an out of system. Good pancake. Here we go. U.S. can swing. Yep. And out of there. So if you do have a free ball opportunity, I really liked what the U.S. did there. They forced it to go to number 11 from Puerto Rico, who is Henwood, their setter. And by making Henwood take the first contact, he can't touch the ball again. In volleyball, you're allowed one contact from one person unless it's off a block. So that forces Puerto Rico to be what we would call out of system, making the libero have to give an outside hitter a ball. Oh, off the block. Come on. Oh, so close, so close. The slowdowns off the block are always a little bit of a toss-up because there was enough time for the outside and the middle to come down, probably play it off their own block. Libero was coming in. A lot of the time, you don't want your blockers to reach behind you because you have to keep everything in front. If you're reaching too far behind, you might not get the same amount of control. Just a little bit of miscommunication here, but no worry. Oh, good touch in the backcourt there. Puerto Rico running a really clean offense right now. Both sides really impressed by their setters playing into the zone. I mean, obviously they're supposed to be impressive as they're on the national team, but just really liking that fluidity. Not a ton of spin that's coming off of these balls, really from far areas. It's hard to go cross-cross. If you're in the far deep 6-1 corner trying to set up your outside, you have to make sure you don't flare it too far. Another missed serve. Number 19 on Puerto Rico. Torres, no problem. Again, only like 18 points in. The other teams haven't even hit 10 yet. It's all good. Back to serve, another explode. Nice receive, Puerto Rico. Calling on the right side. Oh, good dig. Here we go. Oh, watch the. Oh, good save. Here we go. Get back in there. No left side for U.S. Here we go. Goes back to him. Yeah, definitely a block touch on that one. Really heads up play from Puerto Rico to realize that the left side for the U.S. was over the bleachers saving that ball. Great hustle and defensive effort from number 6 on USA's side and Victor Loyola. Yeah, that's awesome. The never say die attitude. Yeah, Puerto Rico realizing that there was probably going to be a delay in that block, maybe even the solo, goes back to the right side, ultimately comes up with a point. Nice serve. Middle and 5. Let's see if we... Middle dig! Oh. Some middle on middle violence there, but that's all right. I think just with that follow through, with middles sometimes it's so hard. They don't have the same amount of space as pin hitters do to really open up and get into that zone unless they get really far back. They're coming straight on traditionally. They don't get that angle unless you kind of run a horn or maybe you're opening up for a 30. A 50 is pretty straight on, so when you get a little bit tight, you're kind of doing a Michael Jackson on your toes, trying not to touch, a little hee-hee moment. But unfortunately, it just got a little bit too tight there. Oh, big swing from the U.S. Number 5, Merrick Turner. Oh, my goodness. That was a nice shot. Anything in between the 3-meter line, which is the dark hardwood that you're seeing, especially as a hit with a little bit of pace on it, that's a very technical shot to hit. Not a lot of people can do that well and consistently. Oh, good tip placement. Nice up by the U.S. Playing some great defense. Puerto Rico says, doesn't matter, so can we. I love that middle route off the net. Here we go. Calling on. Yeah. Oh, big block from the U.S. Wow. Great rally here. I am really impressed by Henwood's ability to run his offense. He's behind the tack line, which is the 3-meter line, the white line that separates the dark and the light. And he's running his middle. You don't always see that. Oh, yeah, okay. Right idea from Salva. He was trying to use that power tip. Saw four hands in front of him, so 2 sets of hands that are going up. Tried to use that power tip to take it off and out of bounds because essentially the U.S. would have been the last team to touch it before it goes out of bounds, resulting in a Puerto Rico point. Unfortunately, just too strong from the U.S. blocking side, but doesn't matter anyway. They earned it right back with another missed serve. Velasquez back to serve. I mean, setter's front row for Puerto Rico. 2 front row hitting options, potentially a third if the setter wants to get involved, but a lot of backcourt involvement. Nice pass from the U.S. Oh, yeah, big swing from the right pin hitter in Turner. I like that. Don't be afraid of the block. That was my biggest thing is just the block is a tool used to score. It doesn't stop you until it stops you, so don't be scared of it until, somebody stops you. Really like that. High off hands. That's great. Oh, a little joust here. See what's going on. Oh, miscommunication results in a free ball for the U.S. Middle dig. Here we go. Find it. Oh, that was ambitious. Sometimes when the ball is placed in a certain zone, when you're so tight to the net and as a hitter and you feel it and you just feel yourself going, I can hit that angle, and then you get rejected by the tape. It's like, who put that net there? Who did that? That was supposed to be mine. But you know what? I like the vision. I ain't mad about it. Exploder. Love it. Nice receive. Ooh! Okay, a little bit of a tandem play there. Very nice. And good choice for that power tip as well. So that's what we would call an overload, when you push 2 players into the same zone. Kind of had that middle and that outside in a tandem, which is a time differential. Trying to confuse the middle blockers. trying to get more one-on-ones, open up more gaps, and it worked. I thought he was set in the middle. Another missed serve from the U.S. Puerto Rico back to serve. That's Colin. Back to serve here. Floater. Good receive from the U.S. Sent backwards. The C ball. Touch off of Puerto Rico. Results in a USA point. Turner's heating up. Not as though we've been playing for very long, but yeah, definitely was trying to figure out where he kind of sits in all of this. And he's been doing a really good job getting a little bit more volume here. Nice receive, Puerto Rico. Here we go, calling on the C ball. Nice dig. That Velasquez is just putting heat on this ball. He's getting on top of it and he's snapping down. It's a very dangerous combination. Henwood back to serve. Setters in the backcourt, resulting in 3 front row players for Puerto Rico. Topper. Nice receive from Larson. Oh, middle run. I like that look to Jordan. Jacob Jordan getting subbed out for a server. No problem. Calling on Micah Goss to come in. Maybe put in a little bit of work here. See if he goes to Delgado here, which he does. Perfect receive. Oh, great run by Henwood. A little bit far. But it's just like what I was talking about earlier in a different match. It's so much more favorable to learn how to contain than to bring it out of a player. So hitting long, so much better than hitting into the net or too shallow. Because at least if you hit long, you know you're getting over top and you're going someplace, or someone could touch it, you know, maybe save your bacon a little bit. Hopefully Puerto Rico just kind of, you know, levels out as well. They've been running a really great offense so far.
Puerto Rico up 1.
Good receive here. Turner. Oh, good dig. Here we go. Calm. Nice ball. Velasquez good. Here we go. Free ball transition. Little Phillips calling on Aruya. Joshua Aruya, I believe. Resides at UC Santa Barbara. Phenomenal school. Great school colors as well. Blue and gold, I believe. Little Phillips back to serve. Tip attempt from the middle, out of system. Swing from the left, pin and down. Good use from Leola. Larson just really hanging that ball up there in the perfect zone. Puerto Rico getting the U.S. out of system by taking Little Phillips out for first contact, but no need to be worried because Larson's there. He's going to give a nice out of system ball, run your offense. There we go, a little bit of miscommunication here. Oh! Aruya and Turner really getting involved in the block, shutting down Puerto Rico's offense. Got a little tight there. 2 players colliding, sending the center in position 4. The only option he had was an outside. He ran it a little bit faster, though, which I can appreciate, trying to beat the blockers, but sometimes hanging up a little bit higher gives people more vision, but not my team. Puerto Rico isn't even far behind. It's only 17-19, but I can appreciate a good timeout. Having a coach that knows when to call a good timeout, that is such a gift. So I'd just like to take this moment to recognize that the 7 Chiefs Sportsplex and Chief Jim Starlight Center is named in honor of the first 7 Chiefs who led the Tsuut'ina Nation following the signing of Treaty 7. Chief Bullhead, Chief Big Belly, Chief Joseph Big Plume, Chief David Crowchild, Chief Jim Starlight, Chief Dick Big Plume, and Chief Gordon Crowchild. The 7 Chiefs Sportsplex and Chief Jim Starlight Center is proudly owned and operated by the Tsuut'ina Nation. The Tsuut'ina Nation was formally established in 1877 by the signing of Treaty 7, recognizing a fully independent culture with a long history of progression and innovation. Unfortunately, no coach's point for Puerto Rico as they come out of the timeout not winning the point. That's always the goal, but not to worry. Hitting long is better than hitting too short. Little Phillips back to serve. Here we go, calling on Velasquez. Good dig from Turner. Lil Phillips going to the outside. Here we go, good dig. Puerto Rico, nice out of system ball here. Oh, a little bit far. Got a wave of a flag for an antenna touch. Head ref is waving it off. We play on. Rip into the cross, off the block and out of bounds. Point USA. Loyola's just really putting in work. And you know what? I know for a fact that I'm saying Victor Loyola's last name wrong, number 6, so I'm just going to call him Victor. I feel like that's better for everybody to not be groaning at your TV or your streaming service knowing that I'm saying it's so egregiously wrong. So yes, any tournament information and update is that normally an 18 competition this year has 6. No Cuba or Venezuela this year, sadly. Cuba is the reigning Pan Am champion from the 2023 year. Participating NORCECA national teams are eligible and qualified to participate in the 2026 NORCECA Continental Championship. Like I mentioned, the last U21 Pan Am Cup was held in Cuba in 2023, and Cuba won that tournament over the U.S. for the gold. Canada was a bronze medalist after beating Puerto Rico for 3rd place. Cuba actually stands alone as the sole headliner for golds at 2 and 1 silver. Ooh, net touch on the U.S. Selva gotten a little bit rejected there. His libero had his back. Delgado said, I got you, but it didn't matter anyway. USA's head coach is John Hawks, who resides at UCLA, with assistant coaches Donan Cruz at Ball State and Matthew Pollock from Pepperdine. A little bit of a low receive here. Lil Phillips calling on Turner. Turner off the block and down. Some good flow there. Performance analyst is Thomas Schaefer from Loyola Chicago. Athletic trainer is Hazel Peterson from USO PTC. And team lead is Brandon Oswald for NTDP. Out of bounds. Point Puerto Rico. Nice receive, U.S. Little Phillips going out to the pin. Power tip. Down and good. USA kind of edging out over Puerto Rico right now, up 23-19. A little bit of a fast sub there. You'll have to wait until you're signaled to come in. Number 15 for the United States, Ruya, being replaced by Trent Taliaferro. Plays at UCLA. Setter. Topper. Nice receive from Puerto Rico, number 19, Torres. Here we go. Good slowdown by the U.S. Little Phillips. Pin. Rejected. Another power tip here. Out of system ball. Who's going to get it? Torres swinging. Fortunately cannot hit through the wall. Yeah, that block is just pretty solid, I'm not going to lie. Torres is a really high flying outside, but you still have to hit higher, unfortunately, which I'm sure he knows. Good receive here. A little bit of a half speed. C-ball. Oh, good dig here. Oh, party ball attempt. Oh, self-cover. Unable to complete the play. Puerto Rico getting a little bit frazzled at the end there. I think they lost their energy. They come in really, really strong and just kind of lost it throughout the match, but I expect them to have a good comeback here. I'm going to switch sides, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes. And we're back. Start of set 2. USA is up 1 set over Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico back to serve. Nice. Down. Here we go. Great start for the U.S. That was not a down ball. That was a topspin serve. I just got a little bit caught up there. That was a perfect receive. Head coach for Puerto Rico is Gerardo de Jesus Sanchez, and he is very involved with his team. I love that he's always on the sideline trying to give as much feedback as he can, really showing his boys that he's there fighting with them. Here we go. Good rally here. We've got a little bit of a libero switch up. No more Larson in for the U.S. It is Jonathan DiCustra from USC, University of Southern California. The Puerto Rico assistant coach is Javier Aveles Ferrano Carlos, and the physiotherapist Juan Rivera Wharton, and the team manager and Noel Morano Torres. Come a long way to be here to play and just outside of Calgary, Alberta. So thank you for coming. We really enjoy your level of play. USA back to serve. Out of system ball here, up to the left pin. Really like that look from Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, just a little bit too long. I'm going to take a really early timeout here. Puerto Rico already down 4-0 to the U.S. Also, I would like to say we are able to read the chat while we are broadcasting, and I would just like to thank those who have given me the insight that I have actually been saying Victor's last name right. Thank you so much, because that helps me immensely. We actually have a couple of members of the Puerto Rico men's team that play in the States, at least the ones that I have discovered. Daniel Henwood plays at Ohio State, as well as Elio Torres. Diego Estrada plays at Lewis. Diego Jose Alvarez plays at Barry. Randy Delgado plays at Farley Dickinson. And Jose Melendez plays at Eastern Mennonite. So I'm sure that especially the boys from Ohio State have seen a couple of the boys on the USA national team. A lot of these U.S. national team athletes reside and play in California. Got a lot of Long Beach State, a lot of UCLA, USC, UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine, UCSD. We have the University of Hawaii. We have a pair of them. And then we've got 2 players are listed as clubs and 1 from a quote-unquote professional team. That's so fun, how you can cross paths in university and then cross paths on the national stage. That's crazy. That's so great. USA back to serve. A little fishing in the dark here. Okay, high 2 here, calling on the right pin. Yes, off the block and out of bounds. There we go, let's get that going. Velasquez doing what he does, as in scoring points. He's very technically sound. He brings his elbow back really nice and sharp just to give him that full rotation through the ball. I appreciate that. Sometimes you get a little bit of a windmill that can slow you down, but everyone's got their own kind of way of hitting and digging and serving. That's what makes the game so fun, is when you see somebody come out and do something you've never seen before. Nice to see from the U.S. Oh, a little bit of a back tip there. Trying to find the open ground. A little bit tight. Oh, no way. Torres. Oh, my goodness. Salvatore really using all of the length he has in his wingspan to make sure that he gets the last say on that ball. It kind of crossed the plane of the net. Still technically Puerto Rico's ball, and just used the block as they were on their way down. Probably didn't think he was going to touch it. Great heads-up play by him. Here we go. Middle dig. Love to see it. Another one reaching right over. Torres just getting up so high. Little Phillips calling on his right side. Free ball attempt here. Puerto Rico over. Oh, off the net. Unfortunately, cannot bring that back over. USA's libero and Dykstra was just a little bit too high up there, but I mean, rightfully so. Puerto Rico's been trying to use that power tip, so you really want to get underneath it. You don't want to be too far back, because the power tip has the tendency to drop down faster, kind of like a true attack. Here we go. A little bit of a snibbler off the net here. Middle run, out of bounds. I wonder what it's like to be that tall and that above the net, that you actually are like wrapping so far that it goes all the way over there. Good for him. USA back to serve. Topper. Nice receive, Puerto Rico. Middle. Here we go. Slow down. Good pickup here. Going to the right. Yep. Good dig from the U.S. Staying a little bit more internal here. Yeah, power tip down the line. Did we get any hands? No, we did not. I don't mind that switch up from Turner. I like that he was trying to go off of that outside hand. As the right side going against a left side blocker, you want to get that left hand, because if you put it back into the right, there's probably a couple people behind you kind of putting it back into the field of play. Getting it out of bounds kind of towards the sponsorship tables, that's so much harder, especially if your libero is trying to get underneath but not necessarily to the side. Really good look from Turner. Turner rejected. Torres. Sorry, Salva. I have a Torres Bernard and a Salva Torres, so my apologies. That was Salva getting all of that. I like a good one-on-one matchup. Makes it feel a little bit more personal, you know? Oh, that's a clean ace. Puerto Rico. Velasquez heating up. Puerto Rico finding that groove. Great use of the timeout, clearly. Got the ace song going on. A little bit short there. Good momentum for Puerto Rico. Let's see how they respond. Middle back to serve from the United States and Aruya. Floater. Off the net. Middle receive. Here we go. Going back out. Oh! Salva's heating up. Yeah, he's feeling it now. Having Salva and Velasquez actively working on both of your pins, that just opens up so many more options and creates a different type of stress for the USA team. Or if you only got one pin or maybe one middle that's doing all your offensive load, it is so much harder to feel like you can have different options and success from that. Here we go, out of system ball, choosing to send a free ball, trying to get in position one. Dryska coming all the way over. Here we go, nice dig. Oh yeah, on two. Crazy decision, and I love it. I love that ball. Out of system ball, popped it up to his left pin, gives him the option to go over on two, use the smart, going down as that power tip, out of bounds. Puerto Rico up 8-7. Explode. In there. In there. Yeah. Great sideline. Yeah, you want to hit that zone. So the left side attacker that has been pulled back to pass. So traditionally when you're in that P1 role, you get pulled back to pass in position 5 until you're in position 2, and then you'll pull back with your setter to receive out of position 1 and then hit from the right pin. So when you're serving, a lot of the times you want to put pressure on obviously the weakest receiver, but your P1 is the one who takes the brunt of most anything. Your P1 gets the most amount of out of system balls. They're the ones who pass the most balls away from the libero as well. And the libero is also trying to kind of cushion that P2, which is the other opposite, who is traditionally known to be a little bit smaller, a little bit more defensive focused. Your P1 is, at least to my knowledge and from my years of playing, kind of your heavy hitter, your harder hand. So when you overload that outside hitter as the P1 that's swinging and hitting from position 5 and 4, because they're receiving out of position 5 to go hit from position 4, you can kind of catch them off guard. You want to kind of break your workhorse down. So I like that Puerto Rico isn't really not trying to do that. They want to tire these guys out. They want to see if they can get their passing to deteriorate. Out of system C ball, like that. Oh, foot violation. Vasquez just over that 3-meter line. Nice set from Delgado. I really like the ambition on that play as well. For those of you who are a little bit new to volleyball, what separates the light brown and the dark brown is that 3-meter line and that white outline. You can jump over that line, but you can't touch it if you are a back row hitter trying to hit. A little bit more space for Velasquez there. Here we go. Middle free ball. Here we go. Off the block. Good. Turner gets a hand on it. Bringing it back in. Swing. Yeah, baby. Oh, my God. I'm standing up. That's crazy. I like that. I have no problem with that. That is a great rip from the U.S. But also, Delgado getting in there, almost hitting the splits, just trying to get this ball up and taking it. He got it. It just went out of bounds. But that shows how much heat is on that ball. Turn it back to serve. Splote. Good receive here. Calling on the middle blocker. Here we go. Here we go. Puerto Rico getting their middles involved. Yeah, you got to trust that these guys know how to run their offense based not only on their own skill, but also based on flow. Sometimes it's okay to override on your left pin, so then it opens up your middles and rights. Sometimes you're going to be outside heavy simply because of your passing. Sometimes you're going to be middle heavy because of your passing. Got to figure out how to get everybody involved. Nice swing. Riggs guy from UC Santa Barbara getting on top of that. Tons of topspin on that ball, too. That's a great wrist snap that he's got. Digging a ball with topspin, it's going to drop in front of you a little bit faster because of the spin on it. So you really got to make sure you're underneath it. Okay, free ball attempt here for the U.S. Running the middle and down. Tre'vell Jordan making a statement. U.S. back to serve, up now 11-10. Probably didn't like that they were behind. Wanted to do something about it. Woo, that's a lot of lead on that ball there. Oh, baby. That's crazy. Jordan doing what Jordan does, apparently, is just hitting a big ball every time he gets it. He's a big boy, too. Oh, they gave me the height in centimeters. I'm sorry. I can't convert that. I'm a in feet kind of girl. Yeah, big block here. Puerto Rico kind of starting to lose some momentum here. Timeout time. Yep. USA really coming alive, you know. Not that they were necessarily playing lax before, but Puerto Rico had that nice serving run. Had a little bit more of that, I'd say, ambitious play offensively, swinging on a couple of more things, really trying to make it work. Now the tide has changed, so let's see how they respond. Also, for anybody who's watching the stream and using the chat, go ahead and let us know what the time change is. Like, do we have anybody that's watching and it's like 2 a.m. there? You know, I've definitely stayed up for a VNL match that like starts at like 3 or 4 in the morning in Mountain Standard Time, as I also reside in Alberta. But how committed to the bit are we? No. But what's also great is that you can rewatch these matches on YouTube. CBC always posts former matches. So if you missed out, you can always run it back. USA back to serve. Missed serve. Coach's point. First coach's point of the day, at least that I've seen. Henwood back to serve, meaning that Velasquez is back in the front court. Henwood the setter. Velasquez is opposite, which literally is opposite of him. Oh, okay. Little C-ball action here, trying to get involved. Out of system. Nice set. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Another call on the net. Delgado is just putting up world-class touches right now. His out-of-system ball, especially cross-court, has just been phenomenal. The C-ball opportunity, the front right opportunity, he's got that touch, he's got that feel. Very impressed by him. Oh, middle run. Here we go. Heads up play, everybody. Turn around. 2-for. Yeah, 2-ball. Let's get the setter involved. Little Phillips taking his first swing and scoring his first offensive attack of the game. Set a kill. I like that. A lot of the times, too, when you block, everyone's instinct is to turn around and kind of look at each other in the eye. Missed serve from the U.S. Point for Puerto Rico. You want to like look at each other in the eye, but the actual place you should be looking first is up, because the ball's probably going up more than it's going directly back. And if it is going directly back, hopefully somebody's got your back. Yeah, a lot of people kind of get their head on a swivel and they go, "Where is it?" And then it drops like right on top of their head. It happens. Woo! Oh, no way! No way. Victor Torres putting all he had on that ball. Honestly, was probably going out. Got caught in the foot of Turner. Results in the Puerto Rico point. He'll know now. Second chance. Here we go. Tapper. Yep. Little Phillips back to serve, putting Turner back in the front court. Ooh, float. Nice receive. Yeah. Oh, no touch. A little bit of over rotation there. No matter. USA now leading 16-14 after being down, I think it was 8-7. Nice floater here. No touch on that. Well, Puerto Rico might be making a sub, kind of in talks of maybe a potential change here. The gap from 14 to 17 feels so big, but it's actually not that big. But the number 7 looks more intimidating than the number 4 in my opinion. Oh, nice little shorty. Middle receive, out of system. Oh, nice. Oh, good dig. Little Phillips calling for the pipe. Oh, good touch, good touch. Out of system ball. Good chuck out there. Swing on it. Yeah, good placement. Here we go. Dreiska, here we go. Good dig. Out of system. Go high, high. Yeah, good dig in the backcourt here. U.S. all over it. Yeah, nice. Oh, Puerto Rico. Come on now. Swing, swing. Yes, good placement. Nice dig. Oh, my goodness. This is good. Out of there. I think that's been one of our longer rallies. Man, U.S. is just shifting accordingly. Same thing with Puerto Rico. Everyone's just getting those touches. When you give an out-of-system ball to an outside and it starts to flare over to their left shoulder as a right-handed outside, a lot of the time it's so hard to go down the line because the antenna is right there, especially if they've been pushed outside of the court. So cross-court is the only way that you know that they can really go, unless they're really, really crafty. So U.S. is doing a good job at reading. Oh, down. Yep. Kind of that 6-1 pocket, that seam ball. That's tough. 6 back is such a unique place to play defense. As someone who has played 6 back, I love it. But if your blockers aren't where they're meant to be, and if you got people on your wings in 1 and 5 not doing their jobs, everything is your fault, and it becomes so hard to figure out where to go when every option is open. But see how Puerto Rico responds here. Free ball sent over to the U.S. Here we go. Little Phillips calling on these middles. Out of bounds. Aria. No problem. See? Puerto Rico, 16-18. That looks like a better gap than when it was 14-17, you know? Feel a little bit more confident, a little better. Got a little bit of a double sub action coming in here. Alvarez coming in, number 24. And I'm so far away, I can't always see the numbers. And Estrada. Estrada will have hands, so a double sub is when you sub out your setter and your right side for traditionally a setter and a right side. The setter will come out for a right pin to put them back in the front court. So you always have 3 attackers in the front row. Keep your setter in the back court. Oh, I thought it was up. But yes, the double sub is used to basically keep your offensive line as big as it can be, unless you have someone like that Long Beach setter, Nikolov. He's huge. He's a crazy big guy. But traditionally your setters are a little bit more smaller, and you want to have all 3 hitting options available, especially blocking-wise when your setters are smaller. But small setters still get blocks too. I'm not trying to be mean about it, but that's just kind of how it goes. That's what the sub's used for. Missed serve from the U.S. Puerto Rico down 17-19. Getting close though. Salva back to serve. Would be really interested to see if we'll run the pipe for Salva. He's been heating up. A little bit of a delay here. Wonder if it's a rotational thing? No? Sometimes we just want to say hi to each other, you know? Sploder. Good. Phillips. Turner. Yeah. Sorry, that was not Phillips. That's Little Phillips. Yeah, Turner's been doing well. He's having a good game. Good hand pass there. Going back to the left pin. Yeah. Oh, a little bit of a look back there from Puerto Rico. I think Torres is trying to get his energy up a little bit, trying to see what's up. You can see the U.S. just wasn't sealed on their block. There's too much of a gap, so when he hit the ball, it came between the body of the middle and the net. 18-20, Puerto Rico. Topper. Woo! Yes. Great get back from 6 back. Yeah, that even like kind of got me, that little tandem there. Middle went up, left side came in. But I like that. That's kind of an override, putting the middle kind of into that 30 zone. So across the net, you kind of have, I would argue, 7 to 8 zones. It depends on who you ask. It's kind of 7. But across the net, there's 3 zones. I guess so, yeah, 9 zones for each position. So left side would have a 1, 2, and a 3. A middle would have a 4, 5, 6, quote unquote. And a right side would have a 7, 8, 9. But I think there's a little bit less because the middles and the left sides and the right sides and the middles, they kind of flare into each other's zones. So a 30 for a middle is essentially in the same zone as a 30 for an outside. But you kind of run a 33 more or less with your outsides because they have a wider range to go. With a middle, you want to run a 30. So the first number is the position on the net, and then the second number is the height. And I think it can't be feet, but whatever it is. So if I want to run a 53, I want it in the middle of the court, kind of, and I want it at the third ring of height. So I want it a little bit higher. If I'm running a 50, I want it in the middle of the court, right above the tape. But there's this thing called a 60, which is when a middle hits directly behind the setter. A right side can also run a 60 because it's in the 60 zone at a tape height. But then that's kind of where they conflict there, is like a middle 60 and a right side 60. Sometimes a right side 60 might be a little bit taller. Give or take, you also have to adjust and adapt to the players that you have. But in that last play, we had kind of that 30 route, so in the 30 zone for the middle, running closer towards the left side. And then we kind of had a left side, I'd say it was like a 23, because if you kind of put them both in the same zone and you want to get like a traditional X ball, which is actually players coming on top of each other, not like a back row, you'll hit each other. So you do have to give a little bit of space between. But I like that override. Sometimes you do that to fool your blockers. Sometimes you do that just because you want to have some fun. I'm not sure what this delay is, so I'm just going to keep yapping. Is it a rotational thing? USA is still holding possession of point, so I don't think it's a point issue. Could potentially be a subbing conflict. I wonder if they know how many subs that they've had, but he's only double subbed. I'm asking questions that I can't get answers for. It's fine. And some more volleyball jargon for you. So the players in the backcourt, there's a pipe, and then within the pipe you can run what we would call a bick or a shoulder. A bick is a back row quick. Traditionally run up the gut, if not a little bit to the left or right, depending on how your setter wants to do it. A shoulder is normally the shoulder over the setter, kind of a little bit more towards that C ball area or that A ball area, again, depending on how you want to run it. Everything that I ran was in front, so a bick was up the gut, if not a little bit pushed towards position 5, and then the shoulder was up the gut, if not towards that C ball area, depending on who I had in the backcourt with me. But again, everyone runs their own things, and it's not always called the same thing for everybody. Also, for those of you who may not know, the guy in the different jersey, call it the libero. Some people call it the libro, the bro. That's what they call it. Karch Karai, who is the men's national team coach for the U.S., former U.S. women's head coach, also has medaled at both beach and indoor Olympics. He's kind of crazy, just casually. He calls it the libro, so then he'll shorten it to bro. And you know what? I like libero, but it's Karch, so I can't really fight a man who knows exactly what's going on in the sport. But I like calling it the lib. But the libero isn't allowed to set the ball with their hands if their feet are planted over the 3-meter line. So our Puerto Rico libero here in Sorry, I'm getting lost. In Delgado, he's doing a really good job at putting himself as close to the 3-meter line as possible and then lifting whatever leg is closest to the line to refrain from stepping on it. So that's legal. It's like a back row. If you step behind that line and then even jump into that zone, he can still set it with his hands and then you can still hit. But some liberos choose to not go over the line, or if they are close to it, they still want to pass out with their platform. I'm definitely someone who thinks that the setting form is better because you have more control over where you want to place the ball. And for the ball to go up and down, it's actually a quicker release than if you're taking it from your platform, which traditionally is lower to you, and then having to send it basically down, up, down. But I do like a platform out of system ball because you can get a little more topspin if you're if you're a libero or your outsider, whoever's giving it to you gets a little bit of spin on it, then you crack on it, just feels real nice. Okay, we're back, everybody. Not like we ever left, but USA back to serve. Number 17, Riggs Guy from UC Santa Barbara. Topper, nice receive. Here we go. Yes, I wanted that pipe to be run. Here we go. Oh, do we know what's going on? Here we go. Yeah, nice spot. Oh, good defense. Oh, close. Little Phillips is just getting involved offensively, having the time of his life. But really like that decision to go to that backcourt pipe hitter in Salva. Really like that he ripped on it. And also for him to get into that far right corner and pick up that ball. That's awesome. Oh, that's a clean ace. Riggs Guy. I guess he's the guy because he hasn't heard that one before. USA back to serve, up 23-18, running away with it right now. Out of system ball, platform out of system ball, nice ball. No touch, allegedly. I think we had a triple block on that one. I gotta look. Yeah, we did. Triple block on an out-of-system ball. Yeah, you know what? I'll allow it. They have time. Triple block is when all of your blockers move into the one zone. It's very, I take it as a sign of respect. Nice serve. Oh. That's a bummer when your peripheral can't see if you have an extra step or not. And sometimes it's not worth it going over the chair. USA takes the second set, 25-18. We got about a 3-minute break. I am parched from that other break, so I'm going to sign off for a minute, but we will be back. And people love the YMCA. It really bonds us. Oh, here we go. Lil John. Lil John. USA starting us off with a missed serve. No problem. Lil Phillips, is probably still just calming down after he's got 2 kills in this match. I'd be excited if I was a setter and I could put that up too. Okay, Puerto Rico back to serve, number 27. Jan Colin Oritz. Yeah, he's been having a good game actually. Calling on the middle blockers. Oh, good try from USA Libero to pick that up. Puerto Rico out to a hot start, 2-0. That's what we like to see. Okay, let's see. Let's get this going. Victor Leola, back to serve. Topper. Nice receive here, Puerto Rico. Middle. Out of bounds, just a little bit too long. Cleared out that sideline. But I like that we're not going away from attacking position 5 right now. Puerto Rico's middle, that's come in Jose Melendez. Melendez, my apologies. Really trying to challenge the libero. Don't go away from him. Oh, good chase down here. Yes, yes. Oh, good effort. Taking a little bit of a sit there. A little bit of a reflection time. Love the hustle from Puerto Rico, though. Cannot say that these two teams have not been trying hard defensively. And you never know. If you don't go, you never know. You can always touch it, and then you can impress yourself. Everybody wins. Out of there. Victor Leola from Minas Tennis Club in Brazil. Going back to serve, Puerto Rico. That splody kind of thing from Henwood. Middle, yep. Huge gap in that block there. I think Puerto Rico's middle was trying to commit to him before he thought he was going to Turner. Turner's been heating up, and then right side for Puerto Rico just wasn't really clamping with the middle, but that could have been a blocking assignment thing as well. And honestly, you can't win them all. Volleyball is a game of mistakes. Woo! Big swing from the right pin. Love to see him getting Salva back involved there. So Salva, listed as an outside left side pin hitter, he hit from the right side in that rotation, signaling that he is the quote-unquote P1, what I was talking about when we had that big break. So that's the only rotation that he gets to head off of the right side. And I think that's so fun. Being a well-rounded outside, it's so important to hit from both pins. Nice serve here. Handled. Oh, middle from the knees? Get out of here. Okay. Little Phillips. He's listed here as playing for Winter Park BBC. So I assume he's not in university yet, or he's going to university, or he just hasn't committed yet because he has so many Div 1 offers. Or Div 2, or Div 3, or NAIA, or JUCO. Who knows? Who knows what everyone's doing with their education? Just a blessing to be a part of an institution that you can play and get a degree at, hopefully. Velasquez hitting a little bit too far out. But again, keep swinging. Keep swinging. Keep trying to get that fire embedded in your team. Obviously, you want to keep your airs lower. But you got to start somewhere. Turner, floater, going after that front row left side. In, oh, Torres. Hit hard with that give and go. Hitting it a little bit long. Going to take our first time out here. Puerto Rico's going to take a break. No problem. Head coach Gerardo de Jesus Sanchez deciding that, you know what? We've had enough. Let's talk about it. USA up 7-4 right now. And up 2 sets to none. Also, I unfortunately have no information, well, not as much information as I would like about where the universities, where the people from Puerto Rico are playing, the boys. I'm losing my mind. where the men are playing from Puerto Rico for their post-secondary endeavors. I found some of them that were from the U.S., but a lot of them are listed as their club as just the Puerto Rico national team, which is not like it's just the national team. Like, it's the national team. But if anybody knows anything else about where these guys are playing, that would be great. You can always find a stream somewhere, always find a club to follow overseas. There's always a way to watch volleyball, and I encourage you to do so. Splote. Turner. Off the block, good dig, on the net. Ugh. So when you get called on the net, that's what we would call an unforced error. And a lot of the time in volleyball, you want to be the ones that keep the unforced errors or the errors in general lower, because obviously they result in a point for the other team. So a net touch is something that is considered highly controllable. Sometimes it's not. Most of the time it is. And you just don't want to give up free points like that. And missed serves as well. But there's a lot of different opinions on missed serves and when it's the right time to have a missed serve and if it's okay, if it's an aggressive serve. I think when you're in the third set, you should probably start to figure out your flow. But again, some days you go back there and everything looks great and then it just does not work out. Good rally here. U.S. picking up free ball, middle run. Woo! Jordan says, I'm done. I'm done here. I want this rally to be over. Delgado really doing a lot. I know I've spoken on him before, but like Delgado has just been so incredibly impressive. He has no fear. Nice receive here. Probably going to go to the right. Yeah, here we go. Whoop! Good press. Doesn't matter though. Point for Puerto Rico. He is so strong. Not only is it the strength, but it's also where you're hitting the ball. For him to hit a little bit higher and not necessarily into the palm like I've talked about before, that results in the ball flying out of bounds, potentially off the side. He's doing a really good job at using that block and tooling. That's what we would call a tool. Topper. Good receive here. Little Phillips. Ooh, oh, so close. Yeah, so the U.S. is running a pipe ball that's flaring into that A-ball zone, if not the 30 zone between the left side and the middle. That's hopefully to create a huge gap because the blockers are going to want to bite on the front row attacker and not really worry about the back row, especially because he's coming in not linear to the middle of the court. Oh, so close. Really trying to utilize this middle in this third set here, trying to give him an advantage. 10-7. It's been working so far. Even the unintentional paintbrush. My favorite play of an offense is the unintentional tool brush, paintbrush. I'm losing my mind. Here we go. Floater, short, point Puerto Rico. I wonder if we're going to pick on the front row left side here, Puerto Rico serving wise. Whistle's already been blown, so there's no time. Oh, here we go. Up the gut. Middle. Yeah. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I say you can't. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm not the one out there. It is what it is. Yeah, middles are heating up. I would assume that the middle blocker and potentially I'd say maybe the right side blocker would want to bite a little bit more, leave the left pin a little bit more open, get a little bit more time to chase that ball because the middles are just eating them up. There's the 60. A little bit of a swat, doesn't matter, doesn't get called. But that call also sets the standard. So we know that if USA does it, they likely will not be called on it. And if they are, then there's going to be an uproar. And everyone's going to go, whoa, whoa, whoa. But we'll see it if it happens. But I like that. Behind the setter, send it back to your mid. Okay, high two here. Little Phillips running his middle. He's loving that middle. Ooh. Almost got confused in that party ball situation. Didn't really know who was going to hit it. Glad it found the floor for USA. USA up 12-9. Looks scary. Not as big as a gap as it seems, though. Topper. Nice receive, Puerto Rico. Yeah, good. Good recycle here. Yeah. Okay. Good vision from Henwood. I don't think he's dumped once this match, so that's really nice to see him utilizing his own offensive talents. We call that a dump when a setter comes in. Maybe it's a two-hander, maybe it's behind the head, maybe it's a one, and it's kind of a flush or a push into the middle of the court. Like that. Topper, out of there. But I also do like when the setters go up there and then they just push it to a deep corner, like a deep 5 or a deep 1 on the 2 ball. That's just so smart. And you catch everybody off guard because everyone's trying to read where the pin headers are and the middles. Or the C ball, I guess. because the setter also can't dump above the height of the net if they're in the back court. In the front court, it doesn't matter, but you have to stay below the height of the net when you're setting the back court if you want to dump. Oh, yeah, that's clean. That's clean. Yeah, on a tight net ball, even if you want to try and get one hand up, just give it something. That was just free space. That was free real estate. Oh, nice spot by the U.S. That's a crazy floater. Could see our pin hitter and our libero from Puerto Rico kind of trying to debate where it was going to go. Just dropped from that back line. USA creating definitely a bigger gap now. 15-10. Still very doable. Just got to get a little bit better at first contact and just a little bit more positive finish from Puerto Rico. It's not that they're not trying or they're not trying to be creative, but they're just not finding the hardware. And they need to just find that space. But, you know, that's not anything that they don't know. There was one time in university, one of my teammates had asked our assistant coach, she's like, oh, I just keep hitting the pipe ball like too far out. Like, what more can I do? And he just looked at her and he said, well, you could just hit it in. I was like, thank you. Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that. So those little technical skills of, you know, like maybe you need to leave a little bit sooner. Maybe your last two steps aren't getting you high enough off the ground or you're not snapping your wrist. So when people just say, oh, just find the hardwood, it's like, yeah, I'm trying. Woo, out. Yeah, good response from Puerto Rico. Oh, my goodness. That's a great swing by Salva. Line judge really eyeing that line. Really put that flag up. Explode. Nice receive from the U.S. Right side, Turner. Out of bounds, no touch. Loyola trying to convince Puerto Rico to admit something maybe. Kind of pointed and then the two little fingers of like, oh, did you touch that? Trying to ask for a truth. Wasn't given to him. Maybe it didn't happen. We'll never know. Topper. Nice receive. Loyola. Little Phillips. Turner. Into the backcourt and down. Nice spot. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. And again, being in six back, also they tell you that anything above your shoulders is out when you're in your defensive position. And sometimes when you get so deep or so sucked up, you think you're further or closer to the back line than you are. And he dodged out of the way, probably thought he was closer to the end line than he was. Yeah, nice. Yeah, good use. Oh. Okay, no block touch on that one. Turner back to serve. Explode. Nice to see it. Puerto Rico. Going back. Yeah, good dig from the U.S. here. Little Phillips. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, my goodness. Notable change here. Larson is back as the libero. So when you dress two liberos, you are now allowed to dress two liberos and have them interchange as long as you put them on your lineup sheet. Puerto Rico is rocking with one libero. Oh. That's okay. He's tired. His shoulder's tired. He's been working hard. And he went for it. Would have been a little bit worse if it's one of those like ones where you're trying to go short and you don't put any chutzpah on it and then it drops before the attack line. Nice serve here. Whew. Okay. Little Phillips and Jordan have just been connecting so seamlessly this match. I've been really impressed by that middle set of connection. U.S. up 19-13. Really want to breathe some life back into Puerto Rico here. They've got a lot of potential. They have the skill set. They just got it finished. Good middle route here. Getting Cologne involved. I'm listening to my announcer as well, trying to see how to pronounce some of these names. Velasquez back to serve. Let's see if he can rattle off a couple aces here. See what's up. Maybe get him running out of the C or the D ball. I should have kept my mouth shut. A little long. Just a little bit, you know. There we got a sub. Jordan coming out, being replaced by Trent Taliaferro, who resides at UCLA. Nice receive here, Puerto Rico. Yep, going to that C-ball. Yep. Can't really tell if he found a seam in that block or if he actually caught some fingers and just found the corner. Whatever it was real nice. And Delgado just stays consistent. He's so great. Torres back to serve. Oh, that's in there. Had all of Puerto Rico's people and the lines judge calling it in. That guaranteed. Yeah, I know what I saw. Torres back to serve. Just ripping on that topspin. Put it right into the Canadian men's team. Sitting and watching, waiting for their match to start. Little Phillips back to serve, putting Turner back in the front court. All three options available. Oh, a little bit of a joust up in that. Okay. What? But really? Okay. Okay, so with that, okay, whatever. Henwood was called essentially over the net, broke the plane of play. But, I mean, he's a front row setter. I didn't think it was that big of a reach. Doesn't matter. Backcourt, C-ball, off the block, good pickup. Little Phillips. Yeah. Oh, rejected. Sullivan Cologne getting involved. So when the setter's in the backcourt, like I mentioned, they can't really joust too much above the height of the net. If they're trying to bring a ball back, which is always a controversial call, if you've got a backcourt setter and they're jumping up, trying to kind of save a ball and bring it back, and then another member of the opposite team tries to kind of block it or, you know, swipe it down, there's a little bit more controversy onto, you know, did he get to actually touch it, because you have to allow them to set. So just thought maybe the ref was confused a little bit there. I think he was in the backcourt, but no, I'm just wrong. Woo! Nice route from Turner. Turner hitting out that left pin. He's got that split with that P1 like I keep talking about. Found that kind of that dead area between the middle and the net just because he wasn't pressed fully over. USA up 23-17. Topper, side spinner on the line. Yeah, that was really nice. Gonna use our last, nope, we're not even gonna use our last timeout. That's all right. Whee. Nice receive, here we go. Nice joust, making a statement. Henwood getting in there. Henwood back to serve, putting Velasquez back in the front court. He's up there with Salva, so those are two really strong pins. Put him to work. Woo! That's all right. That was an ambitious serve. I mean, there was a big gap that they had to fill. I don't mind that he just went for it. Can't really ask for anything more than your players than just to leave it all out there. So USA takes this match in 3 sets. Final set is 25-18. Got a bit of a gap now before our next game. Our next game is supposed to start at... when are we starting our next game? 7? 7 o'clock. So we've got a decent gap. It's only 5:45. So we'll be back here on the stream. I'll see you guys on.
program has ended.